Good morning to fellow panelists. I'm happy to share with you that we have Minister for Finance and Environment from Government of Tamil Nadu in this panel. We also have Honorable Minister of Agriculture from State of Maharashtra who will share his perspective on legacy of Professor M.S. Swaminathan of us. And we also have a member of Legislative Assembly from Arunachal Pradesh, Mr. Toko Tatu, representing Shri Pema Khanduji, Honorable Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh. So these are the three panelists from India, and I'm happy that we also have represent international perspective. As you all know that Dr. Swaminathan, his work and his achievements are not restricted only to India. He was a global leader, he was a global figure, and the ideas which he gave, they echoed throughout the world. So we also have with us Professor Habibullah A. Adinal, Senior Special Advisor on Agriculture Innovation, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in Nigeria. And we also have Dr. Kent Joji, Secretary, International Treaty on Plant Heritage Resources, who will also provide their insights into Dr. Swaminathan's international influence. So, before we start, before I invite panelists to share their reflections, I think it is in order for me to briefly set the context of this special session, which is nicely titled as Achieving an Ever Green Revolution Vision from Leaders. We have heard our Prime Minister in the first session. He has beautifully and very ably summarized how Dr. Swaminathan transformed from a scientist in IRI to ground level functionaries running Swaminathan Foundation and working with the change in livelihood, improvement in livelihood of people. So I will also share some of my thoughts on achievements and life of Dr. Swaminathan on similar lines. Friends, most of us know Dr. M.S. Swaminathan as a great scientist who developed high-yielding varieties of wheat, which laid the foundation for green revolution in India. And we also recognize him as a great development practitioner who was instrumental in spread of high-yielding varieties of wheat and rice across the country in the first phase of green revolution. These two achievements have far-reaching effect on Indian agriculture, India's food self-sufficiency, socio-economic uplift of farmers, and transformation of rural economy in India. This description of Professor Swaminathan as a distinguished scientist and the father of green revolution in India captures only a fraction of his profound legacy. Having closely followed his work and writing over the years, I have come to regard him as a true visionary, someone who consistently thought far ahead of his time. Following his pioneering contribution in developing high-yielding wheat varieties at IRI and driving green revolution, Professor Swaminathan was among the first to foresee the long-term ecological consequences of such a rapid agricultural intensification. As early as the 1980s, he drew attention to the second and third generation problem of green revolution, depleting water table, biodiversity loss, natural source degradation, and ecological degradation. He proposed measuring national progress not only through gross national product but also through gross nature product, a concept reflecting the health of our natural capital and our planet. It was from this perspective that he called for transforming the green revolution into an evergreen revolution, rooted in eco-technology to ensure productivity without environmental compromises. Dr. Swaminathan further expanded the agricultural discourse by incorporating crucial dimensions such as nutrition and health, the livelihood of marginalized communities, gender equity, and environmental sustainability. These themes were central to the work of MS Swaminathan Research Foundation, which he established in city of Chennai in Tamil Nadu. Dr. Swaminathan was deeply convinced that technology alone could not transform Indian agriculture to improve income of farmers. Therefore, he emphasized policy reforms, price policy, institutional support, and infrastructure development, which he felt were equally vital. Based on my empirical research and analysis conducted at Niti Yog in last couple of years, I can affirm that many of the visionary ideas of Dr. Swaminathan have been harnessed and come to fruition over the past decades. These include more remunerative minimum support price for farmers with adoption of new formula suggested by him, millet mission, pulses mission, natural farming, bio input promotion, and many initiatives for economic empowerment of women. As a result, India achieved a remarkable 4.5% annual growth rate in agriculture during last 10 years between 2015 and 2024. I feel happy to share that this growth rate is highest for any 10-year period in the nation's history and also highest globally among countries with more than 1% share in the world's agriculture GDP. Till 3 years back, China was ahead of us when we take 10 years growth, but 2 years back, we surpassed China by a considerable margin to emerge as highest to emerge as a country with highest growth rate in the world. I once again want to say that I feel honored to be joined by distinguished panelists today. So we will start with reflection from Honorable Minister of Finance and Environment from the state of Tamil Nadu. As all of you will be knowing that Tamil Nadu was front runner in the green revolution by adoption of high-yielding varieties of paddy. That like region of South India, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, like Punjab, Haryana, Western UP, indeed. So Tamil Nadu, Andhra, so they were the pioneers, they were the front runner in the adoption of high-yielding varieties of rice. And I feel happy to share that this change, which is brought by high-yielding varieties of different crops, you find a continuity in the state of Tamil Nadu and Andhra in the sense that in these two states recently they are going ahead with maize revolution. These two states, I just checked the numbers, the yield of maize is more than 7 tons per hectare. Particularly in Tamil Nadu, that in all the 3 seasons they take maize yield which is more than 7 tons per hectare. With just 4% area of the country, this state is contributing more than 9% of maize production. And also, Professor Swaminathan, based on his wisdom, chose Tamil Nadu as his Karam Bhumi to translate lot of knowledge, capital that we have. He worked with fishermen, he worked with marginalized communities, he worked on revival of traditional crop, traditional seed, etc. I mean, even if I keep speaking for hours and days, I can't fully describe his contributions. So I think we have a person on the ground, from the ground. So let us hear from horse mouth how in the state of Tamil Nadu they look at legacy of Swaminathan. So I invite Thiru Thalgam Thenarasu, Minister of Finance and Environment, Tamil Nadu. Please.